Hi, my name is Rob Renzetti. Don't tell Nora Wakeman, but I'm the real creator of XJ-9. I hope you enjoy 107 facts about my life as a teenage robot.
Welcome to my life. You probably remember this classic Nicktoon about a teenage robot girl who does everything from saving the world to surviving the perils of high school. As if those two tasks weren't hard enough on their own. Hey, I'm Liberty with ChannelFrederator, and we're going to run you through all the death-defying adventures and social hang-ups of Jenny Wakeman, as we give you 107 facts you should know about my life as a teenage robot. Let's get started. Number 1. My Life as a Teenage Robot was created by Rob Renzetti for Nickelodeon. The show premiered on August 1st, 2003. Number 2. Rob Renzetti is known for directing episodes of Dexter's Laboratory, The Powerpuff Girls, and Samurai Jack for Cartoon Network. Let's just say, his resume speaks for itself. Number 3. He also served as story editor for the first 2 seasons of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and was supervising producer on the Disney Channel animated series Gravity Falls. Number 4. Like most of the greats, Rob Renzetti was rejected from CalArts the first time he applied. He initially studied at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign as an art history major. However, his call to animation was more prominent than writing essays. Number 5. Rob Renzetti became friends with Genndy, the creator of Dexter's Laboratory, during his time at Columbia College in Chicago. The two ended up traveling across the country and becoming roommates when they were both accepted into CalArts. Number 6. Rob and Genndy also befriended Craig McCracken during their time as animation students. You might know him best as the creator of great shows like The Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Wander Over Yonder. Number 7. Rob and Genndy traveled to Spain after school to work on episodes of Batman the Animated Series, but it came with some no-pay hardships. The two were left with some pretty bad living conditions and eventually returned home to recoup from their post-grad trauma. Number 8. Rob and Genndy returned to LA and were hired as storyboard artists for the show Two Stupid Dogs, a cartoon which aired on the ever-changing Hanna-Barbera network. Initially, Rob and everyone else worked in a large room next to the office of the president of the company, Fred Seibert. Hi, Fred! Number 9. However, most of the crew was moved into a trailer out back due to the amount of noise they made. Nothing like the good old days. Number 10. Originally, Rob pitched his short, Mina and the Count, Interlude with a Vampire, after its premiere on the What a Cartoon Show. Unfortunately, it did not make the cut as a full series. Number 11. Fred asked Rob to make 5 more Mina and the Count shorts for Nickelodeon, but before the 6th was created, the show was rejected. After, Rob brought back an original concept of a teenage girl whose boyfriend was a robot. Number 12. On a drive to the supermarket, Rob asked himself the question, what if the robot was the teenage girl? Almost immediately, he started writing the idea on a scrap piece of paper, and 10 minutes later, voila! He had the magnificent XJ-9. Number 13. The show originally debuted as an original short on Oh Yeah Cartoons, called My Neighbor Was a Teenage Robot, which was produced by Frederator Studios and released in 1999. Number 14. The title, My Neighbor Was a Teenage Robot, gave the vibes of a 1950s horror movie, which Rob digged because he's in fact a horror junkie. Number 15. The short was more anime influenced, unlike the show. By the time Teenage Robot was picked up by Nickelodeon, anime had flooded the market, and it wasn't in Renzetti's best interest to blend the show with everything else. Number 16. Rob and his art director, Alex Kerwin, had a redesign for XJ-9 that they were sold on, but had to rethink. The reason? Rob's wife, Tracy, objected to the way the head looked. She convinced them both to go back to an earlier and better look for Jenny. Number 17. Years later, Tracy would put her best foot forward by writing the outline for Around the World in 80 Pieces. Number 18. In the pilot episode, Brad was voiced by a woman, but when the show was picked up, she was replaced by Chad Dorick. Gotta say, I'm a little biased toward Chad. Number 19. In fact, all the characters in the pilot were voiced by women. You can't deny that the girl power is there. Number 20. Character designs were inspired by Astro Boy and Osamu Tezuka's other work. That's where all those weird hairstyles come from. Number 21. My Life as a Teenage Robot is notorious for its beautiful backgrounds and character designs. Rob explained that it came from his love for 1930s cartoons, although he didn't necessarily want the show to be based on that distinct style. He, Alex Kerwin, and Joseph Holt came up with an Art Deco look for the series, a highly stylized and sophisticated type of art style popular in the 1920s. Number 22. The art style of Teenage Teenage Robot was also inspired by 1930s poster designs, which was streamlined and stylized. Rob Renzetti was particularly focused on making the show look unique and not fall into the cliche of the 1950s cartoon designs. Number 23. Also, if you're an art fanatic like I am, you can probably notice off the bat how heavily inspired Teenage Robot was by UPA studio animations. From the bright colors to the crisp line work, the show was a nod to all things nostalgic. Number 24. My Life as a Teenage Robot is one of the very last shows at Nickelodeon to have hand-painted backgrounds. Respect. Number 25. The art department always found it challenging to break the show's usual visual style to make a special story point or to create a dramatic effect. Some of these moments are homages to artists, comics, or animation which the artists were fond of. Number 26. For example, some scenes from The Legion of Evil were inspired by classic Bob Clampett/Daffy Duck cartoons. This is also better exemplified in the episode Daydream Believer, which we will get to in a minute. Number 27. The production of Teenage Robot was quite different from the regular rounds of animated TV shows. Once a premise was approved, the outlines were created by members of the writing team. No script was actually made before that of the storyboard. Number 28. A lot of the visual humor of Teenage Robot is all thanks to the cohesive collaboration amongst the team of writers. The outline gave the storyboard artists enough room for visual storytelling, and it also gave the team the responsibility of coming up with a large portion of the dialogue. We'll touch base on that later too. Number 29. Part of Teenage Robot's sharp scripting could be owed to Rob's love for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just the right amount of drama and action. Number 30. There's a lot to compare between Jenny and Buffy. More of a reason to assume that Brad is pretty obviously based off Buffy's friend Xander. Number 31. One of the most memorable parts about Teenage Robot is the rad intro before every episode. That was composed by none other than Peter Lowry. He's known for his musical work in the TV series Teacher's Pet and The Magic School Bus. Number 32. James L. Venable, on the other hand, did the music for the rest of the series. He has musical credits for Samurai Jack, The Powerpuff Girls, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Number 33. Jenny's pigtails were supposed to give her a kind of Mickey Mouse silhouette, and so the staff sometimes mistakenly referred to them as ears. Number 34. Those pie-cut eyes are also based on Max Fleischer's cartoons, giving Teenage Robot quite the classic look. Number 35. Brit and Tiff were a favorite duo amongst the studio. It was a goal to reintroduce both characters in each episode with outfits that were inspired by outrageous fashion trends from Japan. These trends were compiled from an art book called Fruits. Number 36. One of Renzetti's favorite episodes was Victim of Fashion, in terms of art direction and the over-the-top crazy fashion styles. It's also funny to note that when Tuck yells, "Get away from her, you fish!" it's a reference to the 1986 sci-fi film Aliens.
Get away from her, you...
Number 37. The episode Ear No Evil makes several allusions to Walt Disney's Dumbo. When Sheldon makes Jenny a pair of ears so she can sport the fad of earrings, a lot of her schoolmates react in not-so-friendly ways. Throughout the series, Jenny is seen as the outsider and faces discrimination based on who she is. Although this is quite the dark subject, a lot of kids found it easy to relate to Jenny and cheer her on. Number 38. Mr. Mesmer is a nod to Otto Mesmer, creator of Felix the Cat. Mesmer's hotspot design is also a spot-on reference to Felix the Cat himself. Number 39. The Ice Cream Man was originally going to be Rob Renzetti as it appeared in the Pitch Bible. Sadly, that idea was shut down. But hey, at least the two kind of look alike. Number 40. There was a scrapped character known as the Poltergeist, who made their first appearance in the show's Pitch Bible. It was rejected by Nickelodeon for being too similar to their other show, Danny Phantom. Number 41. Raggedy Android was the first episode to be storyboarded before the show aired. It was done by none other than Rob Renzetti himself. Number 42. The return of Raggedy Android was inspired by Venom from the Spider-Man comic books. Renzetti found it interesting that an exoskin could take over someone's body and change their personality, which is how such a great episode made it to TV. Number 43. Nickelodeon was completely freaked by the Raggedy Android and didn't allow a third to be created. The third was even darker, as it involved the exoskin threatening Brad's life unless Jenny agreed to merge with it. That is awesome! Number 44. When Jenny loses her language disc in Speak No Evil, she gets stuck speaking Japanese. Janice Kawaii, the voice actress who plays Jenny, is also fluent in Japanese, so no voice actors had to fill in as a result of the storyline. Number 45. One of the stranger classic animation references in the show can be found in the design of second-string villain, the Lancer. He was created to have a slight resemblance to Woody the Woodpecker. Cue obnoxious laughing. Number 46. Escape from Cluster Prime was meant to evoke the same intensity as Disney's World War II era propaganda films, and honestly I think it was pretty effective in that. Number 47. For those of you who don't know, Escape from Cluster Prime is a 1-hour animated television special produced by Frederator Studios on Nickelodeon. It was nominated for the Emmy Award for Animated Program in 2006. Number 48. The whole special was basically an allusion to Nazi Germany during World War II. Vex's scapegoating Jenny for the theft of people's chips was quite similar to Hitler's rhetoric toward the Jews in the 1940s. There's also a lot of similar ciphers seen throughout the episode and the title card as well. Number 49. Joseph Holt, background layout designer, hides his last name on this scene from The Wonderful World of Wisley. It's on one of the Haunted Mansion graves. Creepy. Number 50. In Teenage Mutant Ninja Troubles, Britt's list actually has some hidden names from the Teenage Robot crew, like Rob Renzetti and Alex Kerwin. Number 51. In Daydream Believer, Jenny gets a hold of some software that allows her to dream, which she eventually abuses to work while she's awake. Each of her dream sequences has a rather large art shift, from Greco-Roman style to the 1920s to even Dr. Seuss. That 20s reference was actually an homage to Winsor McKay's Little Nemo comic strip. Number 52. In the first episode, It Came From Next Door, Jenny's room is covered in parodied posters of popular 90s musicians, like Spitney and Thinkin'. Number 53. For Brad, it takes 40 minutes to keep his hair neat and spiky. Also, a whole day of avoiding chocolate keeps him from breaking out before school photos. Number 54. As revealed in Price of Love, sometime within 20 years, Sheldon becomes a billionaire. Yes, because we were all rooting for him. Number 55. The episode Kilgore was actually written by a Fairly Odd Parents storyboard artist. It was quite the experience because, unlike Teenage Robot, the Fairly Odd Parents was more script-driven. At Nick Studios, writing episodes is kind of like asking your neighbor for a splash of milk. Number 56. Some episodes didn't make the cut before the series' abrupt end. One such episode involved Jenny traveling back in time to fight side by side with her mother, a teenaged rookie member of the Skyway Patrol. Number 57. The action palette from No Harmony with Melody was inspired by none other than 3D comic books. According to Hersman, less colors gave the illusion of more action. Number 58. Mind Over Matter was an especially challenging episode to find color arc for, as the entire story was supposed to take place in the dark. Number 59. Brad's Minky Mono song was written by storyboard artist Brandon Cruz. Yeah, remember those outlines? Writers were totally free to slip in some silly stuff to space out those storylines.
I know you're Minky cause I'm Momo too.
Number 60. The song is actually a shout out to shoujo anime magical princess Minky Momo. Number 61. The main concern of the show was Jenny finding comfort in being who she was, and not necessarily looking for change. Like every teenager, it was a search to find herself. Number 62. Amongst the fandom, there was a rumor that an episode, The Mojo and the Dojo, was unaired and hidden away from the public. Fortunately, Renzetti debunked that myth and declared that there were no unaired episodes of Teenage Robot. Well, darn. Number 63. Don Prima's name happens to be a play on the word prima donna, which is a temperamental person who inflates their importance. That's what you get for being popular. Number 64. The episode The Wonderful World of Wisley is a parody of Disney World. It is run by robots. Rides featured are a haunted house, Rush Hour, and World Ain't So Big, all of which reference rides like the Haunted Mansion, Autopia, and It's a Small World. Number 65. Jenny is also a nickname for a power generator. Yep, people on the East Coast call them Jennies. Number 66. Sheldon's initials are SOL, which, if you think about it, describes his fortunes when it comes to winning over Jenny. Straight out of luck. Number 67. According to the XJ-9 master plan, Jenny runs on 450 volts. Number 68. In Call Hating, the truck that nearly covered Tuck with mud said the last name of the show's art director, Alex Kerwin. Number 69. In I Was a Preschool Dropout, Jenny said that she didn't remember Super Bowl C, which is 100 in Roman numerals. Assuming, since she was 5 years old, Super Bowl C was probably at least 6 years ago because Brad mentioned it, therefore making this show having to take place after 2070, since the year 2003 had Super Bowl 38. Number 70. Sheldon's training sequence in Agent 00 Sheldon spoofs Jay's in Men in Black. Number 71. In the pilot, Jenny eats an ice cream cone only to open her stomach and take it out, much like Astro Boy. Number 72. The scene in Ball and Chain, where Jenny bangs on the window while shouting Brad's name, is a reference to The Graduate. Number 73. The Puppet Bride is based on the original story of Frankenstein by English author Mary Shelley. Number 74. What prevents Jenny from harming humans? Rob says he based a a lot of Jenny's inhibitors on Isaac Asimov's robot series. In the book, 3 Laws of Robotics, there are 3 rules. A robot may not injure a human being or, through an action, allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law, and a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Number 75. Kerwin often made quick sketches with Copic markers to get a feel for the characters and their interaction to color with an episode. Colors changed all the time, and it was a rare show where the characters remained in their stock colors from start to finish. Number 76. The team created a haunted house for their own Nick production. In the last year, the team built a giant flying saucer facade over part of the production area, and a cardboard city that the saucer had invaded. It involved an elaborate diorama, with Jenny being attacked and electrocuted by aliens, and with a life-size replica of Queen Vexus, with flashing lights! That's so cool! Number 77. In the episode Robot Riot, the end called for a swarming army of robots to appear and an epic battle to follow. John Fountain, a storyboard artist, knew that drawing 1,000,000 robots fighting would kill his digits, so he changed it from 1,000,000 little robots to 1 giant robot. The battle ended up being far more remarkable than the previous idea. Number 78. Jenny actually possesses the phone numbers of her enemies, as revealed in Humiliation 101, including the Cluster and the Space Bikers. I wonder if they text. Number 79. Pest control was an allegory of the Soviet Revolution. I mean, you've got your rat leader, Vladimir, who speaks in a Russian accent and calls his fellow rats his comrades. There's even a hammer and sickle in the episode's title card. Number 80. Like most animated TV shows, there are many Easter eggs to various inspirations in different movies. Jurassic Park and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory are just some of the shoutouts hidden away in the episode Histrionics. Number 81. Sweeney Todd, Red Dawn 1984, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas are all referenced in A Robot for All Seasons, with Jenny Santa basically being a non-Egyptian giant robo. Number 82. Escape from Cluster Prime references the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro, which is Rob's favorite Ghibli film. Number 83. You can catch Jenny singing her own theme song in the episode Pajama Party Prankapalooza. Number 84. In Future Shock, when Jenny gets to the vault, there's a ton of Easter eggs laying around, from Johnny Quest to Batman, and there's Tuck. Please ignore him. Number 85. Jonathan Coulton's song Chiron Beta Prime describes a planet very similar to Cluster Prime, where humans are enslaved by robots. Number 86. The character Kilgore was inspired by Bill Kilgore, the lieutenant colonel in movie Apocalypse Now.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Number 87. The Lonely Hearts Club gang are one of the minor antagonists of my life as a teenage robot. They're named after the famous Beatles song and album Sgt. Pepper and the Lonely Hearts Club Band. Number 88. Puppet Bride is actually considered the unofficial Halloween episode according to most of the staff. Number 89. In one episode, Jenny finally gets a date with a boy who has a fear of technology. The scene with Travis's father in the factory is based on the Charlie Chaplin motion picture, Modern Times. Number 90. Jenny used to be steam-powered, as shown by her mom on Humiliation 101. Number 91. The Space Bikers, Letta, Lenny, Olga, Sludge, and Tammy, found their personalities very fast, but their designs were not so pristine in Return of the Raggedy Android. In Victim of Fashion, they got the tune-up they deserved, except Tammy, because she was practically perfect the way she was. Number 92. No Harmony with Melody was Melody's final appearance on the series, and it ended on a sad note, with her breaking up with Brad. There might have been more to their story, but sadly, it was cut short. Number 93. We know that Wisteria and Nora have nothing in common. Like, sure, they're sisters, and oh, they share the same voice actress. Number 94. In Hostile Makeover, Mary Hanley, a storyboard artist, drew her baby boy as a civilian in danger, and he was added into the episode. After that, whenever the team needed to put someone in danger, they would reuse Disaster Baby. Number 95. Rob was actually rooting for Sheldon and Jenny. However, he didn't plan on having them end up together. He admitted that the romance in the show was only meant for minor humor. Number 96. The best song ever in the series? Well, Humiliation 101's The Greatest Day. Although there's no awards to back up a song about death and destruction, it leaves us all with an idea of what friendship should look like. #friendship goals. Number 97. Teenage robot writer Scott Peterson launched the Teenage Ro blog on May 25th, 2004. Animation's first production blog Roblog by a major network. Number 98. The great thing about the Teenage Roblog was the writers weren't afraid to show their fans what was cut from the show. For instance, one scene that fell short was one where Nora Wakeman was using Jenny as an electrical outlet to make coffee. Don't all mothers do that? Asking for a friend. Number 99. Nickelodeon once hosted a poll between My Life as a Teenage Robot and Invader Zim to see which would air next during primetime hour. There's clear evidence that Jenny won the match against Zim. However, Zim took the slot. Can we call it even since both shows were canceled? Number 100. My Life as a Teenage Robot was one of the most challenging shows Renzetti has worked on because, of course, it was his own show. Number 101. The second season was delayed for many months after a lack of adverts. The third season didn't air for years after the show was canceled. Number 102. The third season finally aired on October 5th, 2008 to May 2nd, 2009. Number 103. In an effort to finish what was started, a group of animators and producers have gotten together to create a final season of My Life as a Teenage Robot, directed and produced by Nathan Altenberg. The reboot takes place immediately after season 3 and acts as a direct fan-made constitution. Rob Renzetti himself is keeping a close eye on the project. As am I. Number 104. My Life as a Teenage Robot received critical acclaim, being nominated for numerous awards, most prominently one Primetime Emmy Award and 11 Annie Awards. Number 105. Teenage Robot won an award at the Ottawa International Animation Festival for Best Television Series for Children. It's for adults too, Ottawa. Number 106. To top it all off, background stylist Sienna Hong won an Emmy for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation for her work on the episode The Wonderful World of Wisley. Number 107. Although there is hope for My Life as a Teenage Robot as a movie, Rob doesn't see a future for it. However, when the thought crosses his mind, he claims it would work well as a CG movie, just not styled like any other. Once again, I'm Liberty, and thanks for watching 107 Facts about My Life as a Teenage Robot. Did we miss any? Which episode was your absolute favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. We have a new video dropping every week, so let us know which animated film or TV show you want us to cover next. And if you like getting more from your cartoons, subscribe to Channel Frederator. And remember, Frederator loves you.